So we ended the best episode of the Book of Boba Fett so far with Boba and Fennec planning to prepare for war with the use of their credits to get some muscle on their team just after they had already recruited Black Chrysanthemum in that same episode. So clearly they are referring to something pretty big, or some people that they're going to need in this war against the PYKE. So I've got a couple of ideas of who and how this could happen, so let's get into it. But I'll play you the full quote of Boba and Fennec talking first.
How much treasure do we have in reserve?
I have plenty of credits. What I'm short on is muscle.
Credits can buy muscle, if you know where to look.
So did you notice that sound effect at the end? I'll speak on that in a minute. But the first idea is that they go to the guild. The guild is what we saw in The Mandalorian Season 1. Mando was actually a part of the guild. It's just a bunch of bounty hunters all getting work from Greef Karga. Simple as that. It's just a bounty hunting guild. Now that's obviously a place where there is a lot of people willing to fight for money. So it ticks all of the boxes as to what Boba and Fennec are looking for right now. Maybe the guild that we see in The Mandalorian Season 1 is just like a small section of a larger guild, because, you know, I just feel like it's probably bigger than that. But either way, Greef Karga can definitely put Boba in contact with some people that are pretty good at fighting that are willing to do so. Now going back to that sound effect, Greef Karga is someone that is associated with Din Djarin, so maybe that is how Din is brought into this. Boba goes to Greef, Greef goes to Din, and Din then goes to Boba. We don't really know what Din's been doing since Mando Season 2. Maybe he went back to bounty hunting, and that's how he could fit into this, because he's joined back the guild or something like that. However, if he's not joined back the guild, it would be hard for Greef Karga to contact him, because it's not like he can send a hologram to the Razor Crest. Rest in peace. Alternatively, something different that Din could have been doing following Season 2 is staying with Bo-Katan and her Mandalorians, meaning that Boba could recruit Din, Bo-Katan, a bunch of the Night Owls, etc, and that would definitely be the muscle that he's looking for. Now before we get into the second idea, if you're enjoying this video so far, please do leave a like and subscribe, and let's go. So the second idea is actually a Holonet advertisement of sorts, similar to what we saw in the Clone Wars, which is where Asajj Ventress ended up finding Savage on one of these bounty hunting advertisements on the Holonet, which led to her and Obi-Wan fighting Maul and Savage, long story short. This would be a very easy way to get the word out there that Boba Fett wants help from people very capable of fighting, and it significantly widens the possibilities of who could show up, because the Holonet is galaxy wide. I mean, I'm talking Cad Bane, Embo, Din Djarin, which I've already spoke on, Dengar, and literally anybody else. The Holonet is also something we've rarely seen in Star Wars, but something that seems like it should be so relevant and important, so I'd love to see it again, which is why I think this is more likely than the first one. However, there is a slight problem. The New Republic exists, and I imagine they are in control of the Holonet, and I imagine they won't be too happy if a crime lord is organising crime on the Holonet. However, in The Mandalorian Season 2, the New Republic was described pretty badly, like they're a bit of a mess, so maybe they don't find out about this, but maybe not. Which is why I still don't think this is the most likely, but it also opens up the possibility of Han Solo seeing this and going to find Boba Fett. He's been rumoured to appear in the series. I don't know if he can fit in. There is still 3 episodes left, so maybe, but I'm not sure. But I do have a third idea. I think it's the most likely, and it probably would take up a whole episode before the last 2 are like incredibly great and action-packed, and this would be Boba and Fennec using Slave One to directly travel to places where bounty hunters will be. This still keeps the possibilities wide because they can go anywhere, so any bounty hunter can be in any of the places that they go. So we could still see Cad Bane, Embo, Bossk, Dengar, Din Djarin, etc. Maybe we even see all of them, but we probably don't end up having all of them work for Boba. And some of the places they could be going would be maybe Mos Eisley on Tatooine itself, maybe they go all the way to Coruscant, which would be insane, or maybe Navarro, which is where the guild is located, which I spoke on earlier. Now speaking of things that would be insane, Din Djarin has the Darksaber right now. Imagine Boba Fennec, Black Chrysanthemum, and Din Djarin with the Darksaber, and maybe even someone else like Cad Bane, Embo, Bossk, I don't know, probably Bossk more likely than the others, versus the PYKEs. Now that would be incredible to see. I'll let that sink in. I think that is the most likely, and I think the most likely outcome is Din plus Bossk. But then also, we do have Black Chrysanthemum. He's not got the best history with Bossk, so maybe a different bounty hunter, but I'm not sure it's just going to be Din, even though Din is the only one that was significantly hinted within episode 4 of the Book of Boba Fett. There was still some potential forecasting to Bossk showing up, because Black Chrysanthemum did randomly fight some Trandoshans in Garsa's sanctuary, so maybe if Bossk does show up, he has a brief fight with Chrysanthemum before Boba breaks it up, telling Chrysanthemum that wait, we actually need this guy. This gets to incorporate the hatred that the two would have for each other, whilst also making them both go on the same side, because Bossk is an ally to Boba, and Chrysanthemum is also one now like he used to be. This would make for a great episode in my opinion, because they'd clearly be trying to one-up each other in every fight that they are in, against other people of course, just trying to prove that they're better than the other one. So yeah, that's a couple theories I have of how the muscle will be recruited by Boba and Fennec. Let me know which one you agree with most. Let me know any other ideas that you have down below. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.